Hey guys, I'm Suzanne here. It's so good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in with us today. I wonder, have you ever been on an adventure? For me, I think that life is a bunch of adventures, like all together. Have you ever heard the saying that life is a roller coaster? I reckon that life is just like a roller coaster. You know, it has its ups and downs and twists and turns. Well, no matter what adventure we go on in life, we usually have a destination in mind. Now, think about it. Whenever you buy a plane ticket or you go on a road trip, you usually know where you're going. There's a lot of planning done around where to go, steps to take along the way, stops to take, and the route to take to get there. Well, today we're going to talk about our lives as being one great big adventure. Now, I think you might agree with me that this year has really been an adventure all on its own. I know you guys all miss seeing each other on a Sunday in church and throughout the week at programs, but I hope you know that your leaders think of you often and are praying for you, and they can't wait to see you again real soon. Now, one of the first things about having an adventure is to know where you're going. I want you guys to find the special pack that your leaders put together for you and delivered to you. How awesome is that? And I want you to search in there for a few things. I want you to find a straw, a texter, and some strips of paper. And I want you to have a think about where you are headed in life. Isn't that a big philosophical question? Where are you headed in life? So maybe what kind of job do you want? What do you want to be when you grow up? Maybe places you want to visit, or where you want to travel, or where you want to live. So let's check out what our craft is going to look like. We're going to take the straw, place it on a table, and using the strips of paper, I want you to create a signpost just like this with all your answers. So I have a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher when I grew up. I wanted to travel to America. I wanted to be a chef at one point. And I also wanted to travel to Paris, which I haven't done yet and I would love to do. So we're going to put together kind of a signpost which shows all the different directions. And then, most importantly, I want you to write Jesus on one of the strips of paper and stick it to the top. And you can use sticky tape for this. I've just kind of placed them here. But make it into a signpost. So put Jesus at the very top. Why would we have Jesus at the top of our signpost? I'm so glad you asked. This reminds us that no matter where we go, Jesus is right alongside us. Whether we go to the left or to the right, he is with us. So in our great adventure called life, we also may possibly get off track. What does that mean? What do you reckon? Well, I reckon it means that even though we have an idea of where we want to go in life and what we want to do, life does not always turn out that way, and we may get a little bit distracted. I want you to have another search in your packs for a few things. We're going to find a paddle pop stick, a ping pong ball. We're going to find 2 strips of string and some paper. You're going to have one that's like a fan and some strips of paper. Now, what I want you to do is set up the course just like this. So we're going to put the string down the middle here with a bit of a gap in between, and we're going to have a go at tapping the ping pong ball between the lines as quickly as possible. All right, let me see if I can give it a go. Okay, so we're going to give it a go straight down the middle there, right? Pretty easy. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to ask someone to help you. I'm going to invite one of my friends over, and they are going to help me. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Suzanne.
What we're going to do is, that was pretty easy, right? We just put that straight through, went straight down the middle. There was no issues. But what happens? Let's have a look. What happens if one of my friends is sort of distracting here? It's kind of going off track a little bit, right? It's not staying the course. The ball went completely off track. It wasn't very nice, Caitlin, I'm just saying.
Sorry, Suzanne.
We're going to have another friend of mine come along and help me. We're going to have Rebecca come. And Caitlin, I still need you as well. What we're going to do is we are going to tap the ball along the course. We're going to have Caitlin waving the paper, and then we're going to have Rebecca putting this down as kind of a barrier on the side of the course. So let's give it a go. All right, wave that really hard, Caitlin. And even if it tries to go off track, it doesn't actually go off track because we've got the barriers there. You know, in life, everyone gets off track sometimes. You know, how do we know if we're off track? Well, God speaks to us through the Holy Spirit. You know, the Holy Spirit is kind of like that little voice that we just can't ignore. You know, it's in our minds, in our heads. Other people who are friends with God, they may be able to help us and help us to realize that we're getting off track a little bit. And the Bible, this is a big one, guys. The Bible is a guide for us and a map that we can turn to for guidance. Well, thank you, friends, for helping. So, finally, in life, we need to know how to get back on track. So, life can be really tough sometimes. And as I said before, it can be like a roller coaster, right? It ups and downs and twists and turns. If we do find ourselves off track a little bit, how can we get on track? Well, there are a few ways. We can pray to God. That's like number one, the best option, right? We can pray to God and ask Him to help us. We can ask other people who also know God to guide us and direct us, and we can read our Bible. Remember the Bible verse for today that God is right alongside us, helping us to become closer to Jesus, keeping us steady and keeping us on track. God is kind of like the paper barriers in that game. He helps us to stay on track. I'm sure that you will do some amazing things with your lives, and I pray that whatever is written on your signpost craft that you did earlier, that you get to achieve those dreams. I pray that you never forget that Jesus wants to be close to you, helping you and bringing you closer to God. Have an awesome day, guys.